What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex. In this video, I want to take a look at 10 games that we haven't heard from in an incredibly long time. Some much longer than others, and some in just some different situations than others. But I thought some of these would actually be really fun or funny to talk about. I always talk about games that we've seen, and then they take 3-4 years off. And I thought, why not put them all in one kind of condensed list? So let's start with, honestly, maybe the most hilarious of them all, Abandoned. I am going to count this, and I'm putting it in number one, not necessarily in order here, but it's the first one on this list because one day I do think Hassan will return. One day I think Abandoned might return in some form, or Hassan might just try some other kind of game scam. I don't know which one will necessarily be first, but I also, deep in my soul, want to believe that there could be something for Abandoned one day. I had an absolute blast, the time of my life, making Abandoned videos back in the day when that stuff was picking up with the Kojima theories and all that stuff. It was so much fun, and honestly, selfishly, I want nothing more than to do that again. So if we could get something, if he could kind of just come back, or if God willing, we could actually get the Abandoned prologue, because remember, there was supposed to be a prologue, but also, like, I don't know, not necessarily a demo, right? I think you'd have to pay for the prologue, and that would cost money, and he would use that to fund the rest of the game. It was an incredible situation. I don't want to call it bad, because honestly, it was just incredible. So hopefully one day Abandoned will return, and you can bet your bottom dollar if it does, I'll be covering it. Number two, a game almost as hilarious as Abandoned, Little Devil Inside. Anybody remember this little gem? So this was a game, this is actually the funniest part of it. This started out as a Wii U title. This was a Kickstarter title that raised money, and people gave them money, and we haven't seen this game in years. This game has jumped multiple console generations, and it's also kind of switched exclusivity / which platform, service provider that they care about the most, from Nintendo to now Sony, right? And oh my God, I mean, again, if this game ever shows up, that would be kind of spectacular at this point. Now, this game, a little bit different than Abandoned. It's always looked rather okay. It looks really weird. I don't know, honestly, if it would actually catch on in like a mass market, but it doesn't look bad. It just has constantly disappeared. It'll show itself, and recently, again, the reason why it's on this video, we have not seen this game in years. The release date that was kind of rumored but kind of said has long passed, and I really, maybe even more than Abandoned, because you just never know with Hassan, with Little Devil Inside, I would not be shocked at all if it was just canceled and they just didn't make an announcement yet, because I just feel for a game that's in this game's situation, I feel like you got like a 50-50 shot the game even still exists, or the studio closed down or something like that. So I'd love, again, nothing more than for this game to kind of just reveal itself, just a tweet one random day that, hey, Little Devil Inside comes out January 15, 2024, and it's like, oh my God, they're back. That would kind of be cool, and that's, again, the theme with all of these videos. Number three, maybe my most anticipated of this list, although I'd have to think about that, Wonder Woman. So Wonder Woman, obviously shown at the Game Awards not too long ago, not as long as some of these other games, but boy, it has been a while, and it's been absolutely nothing since. So Little Devil Inside, at least because it's been around for 10 years, we've gotten a couple different iterations of what the game looks like. Wonder Woman, it's been radio silent. We have some concept art that, investigators online have gone through and found, and really the fans are the ones doing the work in this case. So it's about time we hear about Wonder Woman. The, I guess, flip side with this game, I do think we're going to get something, well, obviously, hopefully with all these games, we get something eventually. Hopefully we get something soon with this game. Maybe they're waiting for Suicide Squad to come out from Rocksteady, and then it's kind of the push for Wonder Woman. But I really do hope this game comes out within the next year and a half, 2 years at the most. And even if that's the case, 2 years, 2025, fall of 2025, we should start to see it relatively soon. At least a formal look at it, because what we got, the teaser trailer, that's not really enough. And I mean, it's fine for what it was, but again, this is a classic situation of a game that probably gets revealed way too early. Years and years go by. You didn't have to announce it when they did. They could have just announced it, say, right now, or this Game Awards, and it really wouldn't have mattered all that much. Number four, Bioshock. This one maybe infuriates me the most. I'm a huge Bioshock fan. I know actually some people in the community are really big Bioshock fans, so hopefully you guys agree with me on this one. And the reason this game makes me so upset is its very unique situation of, Take-Two announced this game and talked about, development team that was making it, and that's it. So in the way that this game was announced and what we know about it is maybe even more than Abandon, the least amount of anything, of any of these games on this list, because it wasn't even the studio themselves that did it. It was Take-Two. They said that there's still some time left, right? They were still making the game. It was going to take a few years, but I think Bioshock, it's been like 3 to 4 years since, maybe even 4+ years since Take-Two actually issued that tweet. So this might be, I'm looking at my list behind the scenes here, this might be the longest from when it was announced to seeing nothing, could be the longest on this entire list. And it probably has the biggest potential, biggest ceiling. It also has a huge floor because it could absolutely be terrible. Obviously, no Ken Levine, and we'll see if they can actually do it. But on the flip side of things, it could be really good. And it just infuriates me that, we're going to have to wait half a decade from when they announce the thing to when we first see it, like the very first look at the game. We don't have a trailer. We don't have a teaser. We don't have concept art. We have absolutely nothing. We have rumors, but they can't really be corroborated. We don't know if they're actually true. That's the only thing we know. There's actually nothing that we know about this game. So hopefully, maybe the Game Awards, maybe sometime very, very soon, is at this point, Judas is going to come out, Ken Levine's game, and we're still not even going to see Bioshock, and that is kind of sad. Number 5 is State of Decay 3. I was trying to make it a little even, trying to look at PlayStation, Xbox, and EA, and all these different companies. State of Decay 3 is definitely one that stands out because I think it was the Xbox show back in June of 2020 that they unveiled it, and it's been nothing since then. Now, again, this one probably a little bit more optimistic than some because I do think this game will be shown off relatively soon, probably in the next year. I feel like Xbox goes in waves, and obviously right now you have Starfield, you're going to have Hellblade and Avowed, and then maybe next year we start to see more from Fable, we start to see more from the Indiana Jones game, and we start to see more from this, amongst others, for sure. I'm probably missing like Clockwork Revolution, right? So that's how I kind of think internally they do things. We probably don't have to wait too much longer, but still that doesn't completely give this game a pass. It's been 3+ years since we saw it. We've seen it one time. We haven't seen it since. So hopefully we get something. State of Decay is a pretty popular franchise. I've never really been able to get into it, but I would try for sure. State of Decay 3, and hopefully we see it soon. Number 6 is the Kotor remake. So a little mixture of publishers and developers with this one. Can we please? Maybe, looking at it, I said Wonder Woman is maybe the highest one on this list. The Kotor remake is probably number 2 or maybe even tied with Wonder Woman. I want this game to exist so badly. I guess, again, unique situation. I just want to know for sure, 100% certainty, that this game is still okay. This game is still being worked on, and there were some really good rumors and kind of deep dives of the studio and insiders that I do trust that do say it is still being worked on. It's not canceled. It's just going to take a long time, and God knows when we'll see it, and that's kind of the issue, right? So on one side, hopefully those rumors are true, and I'd like to at least hear from this game that it's okay, that they're still chugging along, and although the first team was removed from the project and was moved to somebody else, Saber Interactive, right, that they're okay and the game's okay. And then obviously the next step of that is seeing the game. And remember, the rumors, like this game actually may have already would have come out, like in a multiverse kind of situation in where they were. This game may have already released. So hopefully it's not too far out, like 2-3 years max. If it's any longer than that, oh my dear God. Next up is Star Wars Eclipse, another game that's had some troubles, Quantic Dream. Obviously this game was revealed at the Game Awards a few years back, haven't seen from it since. And the funny thing with this game that is somewhat, I guess, unique to it is, remember the rumors, like immediately, they showed the trailer, right, at the Game Awards, and then within the next week or two, I think Tom Henderson, amongst others, immediately there were reports that was all they had. The trailer for Eclipse is all that they actually had of the game. They had absolutely nothing else. They did the trailer to get employees because they needed people to help work on the game. And on top of all of that, it wasn't even going to be the next game from the studio. That there was actually going to be another game that released before it. So this game was like a 2027 game. And I mean, if a game gets announced right now and it says it's coming out in 2027, it's not the biggest deal in the world. 4 years, right? You imagine that's kind of in the norm, but this game was announced years ago. And again, when you show a trailer, you would hope, and this isn't the way the game industry works, but you would hope that when you show the trailer, the game didn't just start like the day before, that they actually had maybe worked on it for like a year or maybe 2 years, and that's just not the case. So this is one I'd like to see. I'll say it, I liked Heavy Rain. I actually love Heavy Rain. I liked Detroit Become Human. I know there's a lot of people not a fan of David Cage, and I'm not going to tell you what to think about him. That's totally fine. Quantic Dream as a studio as well. But I do want to see what their Star Wars game would actually look like. The next two I'm going to combine because they're both from the same publisher and developer, and that's Dragon Age Dreadwolf and the next Mass Effect game. So Dragon Age is close, and it's closer than Mass Effect. It actually makes me a little bit more upset at Mass Effect because, again, when they showed that trailer, it really, from what we kind of have gathered from the studio and the hiring that they have done, it seems like they were working on Mass Effect maybe like a couple months, and by a couple, I really could mean 2 or 3 or maybe even 1 month before that trailer came about. So it's honestly another kind of Star Wars Eclipse situation. That trailer for Mass Effect was really all they had. We obviously have to wait an incredibly long time, but we have to wait an even longer time, I think, because I don't think you're going to get anything else on Mass Effect until Dragon Age comes out. That leads us to Dragon Age. Now, we've gotten stuff. Dragon Age is an interesting case because there's been like behind the scenes kind of developer diaries. I think there's actually been like 3 or 4 of them, but legitimate like gameplay trailer, we actually have next to nothing on Dreadwolf. And whether this game comes out next fall or maybe gets delayed till early 2025, I mean, either way, we should see the game relatively soon. I hope that around the Game Awards time, and at the very latest next, like, there is no E3, but next June-ish period, hopefully we see Dragon Age. So hopefully within the next, like, 6 to 8 months, I guess, we would see Dragon Age Dreadwolf, and then maybe another 6 months, half a year after that, maybe then we would see Mass Effect. And the final one, the one that actually maybe has been the most open out of all of these, and this was coincidentally left till the end here, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time remake. So, I mean it. Ubisoft has actually been kind of transparent about this one. They've had developer kind of update blogs that have said, hey, we removed the team that was working on it. We've absorbed it, and we kind of are starting from scratch. Don't expect anything anytime soon. The game is not canceled, but we did have to kind of restart it, and it's going to take a while. And that's the gist of their last update, and they've been pretty open. So I will absolutely give them that praise because they're one of the only ones on this list that have actually done something like that. But on the flip side, saw the trailer years and years back. It didn't look all that great, but at least it was a game that many people love coming back to life, and we're going to have to wait so much longer. And even right now, when you're watching this video, when I'm recording this video, we are going to have to wait years, 2-3 years, I think, at the minimum to get this game, when really it probably should have already released. So just want to throw that one out there. So let me know what you guys think. I mean, I had more. I had the Kingdom Heartses of the world. There were plenty of others, but I felt these 10 really stuck out to me. Let me know what you think. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next one.